So here's a wild thought. What if the absolute best way to save our planet was to start leaving it? Today we're diving into this incredibly audacious vision to move our most polluting industries off-world and get this, turn the moon into humanity's brand new factory floor.
Let's start with this quote from Jeff Bezos, because it really frames this entire conversation. Before we even get into talking about factories on the moon, we have to agree on this one simple, powerful truth. Of all the worlds we've explored, Earth is the good one. It's the only one that truly matters. This is the why behind this entire massive vision.
So what's the problem? What's the challenge that's so immense it actually requires a solution on a planetary scale? Well, the core idea here isn't about escaping a dying Earth. It's about preventing it from dying in the first place.
And the warning here is pretty stark. There is no Earth 2.0 waiting for us out there. The resources that fuel our entire civilization are limited, and our consumption, it's growing exponentially. And this isn't some problem for the distant future. It's a mathematical challenge that we're facing right now.
This slide just captures that central conflict perfectly. On one side, you have a fragile planet with a finite amount of stuff. On the other side, humanity's relentless, ever-growing demand for more energy, more products, more data. These two trends are just fundamentally incompatible. They're on a direct collision course.
Okay, so if the problem is this collision between what we want and what the planet can give, what on earth is the solution? Well, the proposal is pretty radical. Don't stop industry, just move it.
The idea is to essentially rezone our solar system. Think about it. Earth gets designated for residential use and maybe some light industry, while the moon becomes our new heavy industrial park. By outsourcing our most energy-intensive activities, we could just dramatically reduce the environmental strain here at home. So how would this actually work? This whole vision really breaks down into three major steps. First, you move the heavy manufacturing off-planet. Second, you shift those massive, energy-hungry data centers that power our digital world into space. And the end result? Earth is preserved, primarily for living. So the crucial point to get is that this is a multi-layered strategy. Yes, of course, it's about protecting Earth, but it's also about building the foundational infrastructure, the roads, the power plants, the factories that would allow humanity to truly become a multi-planetary species. Now, you might be thinking this whole vision sounds like it's coming from just one source, but it's really not. Some of the biggest names in technology are kind of independently laying the groundwork for a future where our critical infrastructure moves off-planet. Just look at the pattern here. You've got Google exploring AI-powered data centers in space with something called Project Suncatcher. SpaceX is literally blanketing the globe with space-based internet. These aren't just isolated projects. They represent a clear convergence of strategy toward moving our digital and industrial backbone into orbit and beyond.
What we're witnessing here are the very first steps in a monumental shift. It's kind of like how past generations opened up frontiers on Earth. This generation is beginning to open up the industrial frontier of space.
So, where does all of this lead? This isn't just about factories, right? It's a roadmap for a multi-generational shift in how and where humanity lives. This timeline really shows how today's bold proposals are just the beginning. The next decade or so will likely be all about building that core infrastructure, all leading to a target where millions of people are actually living and working in space. 2045, that's the target. And by putting a specific year on this vision for millions of people living and working in space, it really shifts the idea from some distant sci-fi dream into a concrete engineering challenge with a deadline. So in this proposed future, the division of labor is pretty clear. Humans get to inhabit these vast park-like space colonies, while an advanced robotic workforce handles all the industrial heavy lifting on the lunar surface. It's a vision where technology enables a kind of post-scarcity lifestyle. Okay, this all sounds like a very distant future. So why does it matter now? What makes this conversation so urgent today? Well, it really boils down to a perfect storm. We're being pushed by environmental necessity right here on Earth. At the same time, we're being pulled by new technology that makes space travel and automation cheaper and more capable than ever before. And this vision, well, it provides a roadmap that connects those two forces. So what should you watch for? Keep an eye out for more announcements about space-based manufacturing, lunar mining initiatives, and definitely more collaboration between private companies and government space agencies. This is where the vision starts to become a reality. And all of this, it brings us to the ultimate question. Is this grand plan Just a roadmap to sustain our current way of life by, outsourcing the damage? Or is it the true beginning of a new, spacefaring civilization? The answer to that is going to define our future.